Hey, everybody, it's Rich Tola, and thanks for tuning in to Tola Talks Texas. It's episode 5 here, December 30th, 2021, with only 2 days left in the year. Lucky deuce, snake eyes, as they say. You guys know what snake eyes is, right? When you roll the dice and you get one pip on each die. It's called a pip. Let me give you this here, a little background. Dictionary of Etymology traces the term snake eyes back to 1929, but it actually dates all the way back to ancient Roman times when they used to play dice games. It's called dogs. When represented the 2 ones, they called that dogs. It refers to this as the dog throw. Let's talk a little bit about ancient Rome. I've never been to Rome, guys. I've been to Florence, Firenze, been to Genoa. Christopher Columbus was born there. Pisa. I did the northern Italy trip back, I guess, out of college. I did that with a buddy of mine. But I will make it to Rome, and I will make it to Sicily, my home country. But what were the Romans known for? Legend has it, ancient Rome began in 753 BC, went for about 1,000 years. But they're known for their military, political, and social institutions. Wow, maybe we should take heed. Known for their culture. You guys know that, the language of Latin. They spread the language of Latin, and the beautiful and amazing architecture about the Coliseum. Yeah, their most popular form of entertainment were the gladiator fights. You guys remember that movie, Gladiator, with Russell Crowe back in 2000. I mean, it had won 5 Academy Awards. It had 12 nominations. It was about, it's fictitious, it's a fake story here, but who knows? Maybe it's based on truth about a once powerful general sold into slavery, and he threatens the throne. And that was an awesome movie, just truly, truly magnificent. Everything about that, cinematography, the actors, no doubt. Anyway, the Romans left us with 50,000 miles. There's 50,000 miles of roadways. They're definitely known for their roadways. Still in use today, 50,000 miles of it. So speaking of roadways and the great state of Texas, land of the free, home of the brave, love that term. Well, how does Texas rank with overall performance and cost effectiveness? Wow, yeah, it's a rough morning here with the words coming out of the mouth. I'm not sure why. It happens sometimes, right? It's early here. What time is it? It's 7:42 a.m. as I'm recording this. So here we go. Texas ranks, they're considered average, ranks 23 out of 50. Who's the number 1 top spot? North Dakota. Wow, I've never been to North Dakota. Definitely want to go to North Dakota. Who's the worst spot? Here we go. Where am I from? New Jersey. Jersey has the worst roads, overall performance, and cost effectiveness. Ranks number 50. What about New York? Ranks 45. Pretty lousy over there, guys. Well, here's what they say. To improve Texas roads, they have to reduce the traffic congestion. Yeah, because Texas ranks number 43 in congestion. Who ranks number 1, guys? What do you think? California ranks number 1 in congestion. Anybody been on the 405 highway? You know what they call the 405? Yeah, because you're going to be on it for 4 or 5 hours. Anyway, well, they did a good job, I will say. They did a good job of expanding that. The northern part of that in terms of the city. Well, anyway, we won't get into that. But how about, here's the worst state to drive in. This is interesting. Hawaii. I've been there, and I lived on Oahu for a couple of months. Remember driving up around, you kind of go past Waikiki, you go down the bottom of the island up. I think it's the 93. What is the highway that goes all the way to the North Shore? Went to North Beach and watched the surfers up there. Pretty cool, pretty cool. But anyway, there's a little trivia for you, some notes on Texas. And, current events today. This shows we're talking current events, cryptocurrencies, and how to drink from the fountain of youth. We'll talk about that. But current events, it's all COVID now. COVID cases are spiking, Omicron, et cetera. And with all these COVID mandates, it's put the U.S. health and safety institutions in a tough spot. That's right, cutting all the personnel that didn't comply. You see that in the news today. I was reading Fox News, and Here's what they're saying, right? You got the overlapping federal mandates for military, you got the state mandates for the healthcare workers, and the private mandates. Puts us in a difficult situation, to say the least. You got 10,000 active duty Marines refusing the vaccine, and they're calling that a political purge. I think one person, a senior official or senior military person, said, "Tread very carefully. This is political. You will be crushed like an ant." Again, I read that on Fox News this morning. And now President Biden's deploying over 1,000 military doctors, nurses, and medics to cover the shortage. Because if there's a shortage, no doubt, in healthcare, we need to secure the healthcare. Safety. I mean, safety is everything, really. I mean, I believe that. Safety is everything. And how about New York State? New York State's got a massive shortage of nurses. Massachusetts, Governor of Massachusetts deployed the National Guard to help support hospitals. That's a good thing. Got to support the hospitals, right, if they are getting loaded up here. And you have 5 governors calling on the Pentagon to rescind the vaccine mandates for the National Guard. Makes sense to me. Our Texas Governor Abbott, he outright refused it. That's right. Way to go. And how about New York military? I mean, New York City. Well, what about police and firefighters? There's a shortage there, guys. I mean, it's a tough place to be in the world today. You're a policeman or a firefighter, which is no doubt an honorable profession that is well needed in our country. Well, Mayor de Blasio in New York City put 9,000 of them on leave. It's chaos, guys. I mean, it will get better. Hopefully it does get better. And let me give you a quick story. I talked to a friend of mine last night from New Jersey who had 10 people attend her, visited her home for Christmas Day, actually. There were 10 of them, 3 over the age of 80. There was an 80-year-old, 83-year-old, and 88-year-old. Well, nothing happened to them. They did not get sick, not tested positive for COVID. And the 7 others did. Only one person kind of got flu-like symptoms with throwing up and fever. The rest of them, I said, if there were no Omicron, no Delta, no COVID, if it didn't exist, I said, what would you call it if you said you had something? She said, for 3 days. She said, no, I had a mild cold. Some people had a bad cold, but there was no, like the nose, the runny nose, the redness and all that. They didn't get any of that. But she said a couple of them would be mild cold, another would be a bad cold, and one person out of the 7 was sick with the flu. And then the other 3, nothing happened to them, which is interesting. Again, I kind of say that. I'm confused. I am confused. But you believe what you believe, right? Perception becomes reality. I learned that back in the late 80s. Michael Milken, I think, coined that term back with the junk bonds, where junk bonds or high-yielding bonds were created to help companies like Fruit of the Loom to avoid bankruptcy, right? He believed that if you could provide the capital at a very high rate, 15, 18%, where these interest rates back then, remember, my 12% on my student loans, so back in the 80s, rates were really high, but these companies made it. They went on to survive because they got the capital they needed. Banks would not give them the capital. They couldn't raise it in private markets, so they did these private equity raises. I worked on the private equity desk at Drexel Burnham Lambert back in 89 briefly. But yeah, those were the days where I had to take risk. Speaking of risk, anybody taking risk with their fitness today? Let's talk about that. Let's jump right into it. How to drink from the fountain of youth, because that's my core belief, right? Health equals wealth. Well, I did the 420 workout today, guys. 420. No. I wasn't smoking pot before, after, or during the workout. No. I know a lot of people do that. The 420 workout for me is 4 sets. I did sets at 10 repetitions, right? We know that. 4 sets at 10. I took 20-second rest in between. So mix it up, right? I wanted to mix it up today because, again, like I said, yesterday's show, got to keep it interesting, right? Got to mix it up, especially if you're going to work out every single day. Later, I'm going to do some yoga, but let's talk about my workout real quick because I'm hoping to inspire you, get you empowered, save yourself, no doubt. And anybody's setting New Year's resolutions, well, get with it. Get with the program 2 days in advance. It's at Lucky Deuce. Setting resolutions to me, it's just being better, being a better human being on a daily basis, living in the moment, not futurizing, not I'm going to or I used to. Those are terms. I had a Get Your Shit Together podcast where I did a couple of shows like that. But anyway, any event, the 420 workout. So here's what I did. I did 12 different exercises, and I set my sights on 12. Counted them along the way. I'm big on the numbers. Stretch and abs, of course, always do that first. That doesn't really count. Stretch and abs, right? I take inventory of the body, feeling, etc. I did dips, pull-ups, tricep extensions. You guys know what that is. Shoulders, I did some flies on that. But back to triceps on the flat bench. Then I did chest, biceps, chest, back, biceps. That's 10. Now, I kind of lost it on the last bicep. I started with the 35-pound dumbbells. I couldn't get 4 sets of that. See, with all the other ones, I kept the weight the same. So with the last set of biceps, I went from 35 to the 30s, and I had to do 2 sets at 30. So not that disappointing since it's my 10th set. It was like 40 minutes in. Then I did leg extensions and leg curls, and what I did with those was kind of cool. I did 4 sets of 20, not 4 sets of 10, kind of ending strong. Remember, you got to close strong with the 420. So that's my workout, guys. Strong one today, felt pretty good, a little tired. I was in the gym at 5:30, exactly, earlier than my 6 o'clock the last few days. And like I said, later I'm going to do some yoga. I put myself through a couple of sequences, and I might even walk a couple of miles. It's a nice day here in Texas. It's going to be 74 here in Plano, and that's going to close out the year. It's going to get cooler on the 1st. Might even rain, they say. Good, I washed my car yesterday, so no worries. I'll wash it again. So that's it for the how to drink from the fountain youth. You got to do it, guys. You got to do it. You got to take yourself seriously and respect the temple, mind, body, spirit. Starts with the physicalness for sure. Start the year off on a good note. If you need to lose some weight, you still have 2 days left. Cut the food in half, right? Yesterday, Homeless in America, that show. Give it to a homeless person. Well, let's jump right into the cryptocurrencies, guys. Cryptocurrencies. What is your portfolio looking like? Well, I will say, from a standpoint of, let's talk about stocks for a moment. In the past year, okay? I mean, we're talking about a year. If you look at what the Dow Jones did, Dow Jones had a pretty good year, right? Started the year around 30,000. It's going to end 36,000, maybe even a little higher. S&P had a big year, right? S&P's up big, and probably, 37 it started with. Now it's up to 47, probably up 1,000 on that. NASDAQ as well. NASDAQ was around 12.5 to start the year. It's going to finish 16.5. Pretty darn good, I'd say. So S&P, NASDAQ, if you're kind of doing those index funds, good for you. Gold and silver, not so much. Talked about gold. Gold is down for the year. And silver, silver's been in the 20s for a long time, right? A long, long time. Gold, I told you, I sold gold at $1,480 or $1,500 about 6 years ago. So anyway, crude oil made a big run up, as you know. I know a guy that bought a lot of crude oil at around 35, so doubled his money for sure. Anyway, that's it for those. And what about the cryptos, which is what I'm into, as you know, looking at the cryptos on Robinhood. Just taking a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's up about 25. Bitcoin's up about 73% for the year, right? Pretty good, but hopefully it kind of bumps a little further. I kind of expected that to land around 50. Remember I said somewhere between 50 and 60? But it doesn't look that way, does it? I think it's going to struggle to get to 50 to close the year, but who knows? We'll see what happens in January. Bitcoin Cash is up 24% for the year. It's not so great considering it's only a third of what Bitcoin is, and the Satoshi Vision, well, that's down 25%. That's a tricky one. I told you guys, that's one you could trade, but in the long term, it's not turned out to be that great. Litecoin is up 15% for the year. I definitely expect Litecoin to make a bigger move in the new year. And then you got Ethereum, and the Classic. They're both up. Ethereum's up over 400%. The Classic's up over 500%. But the Classic, that's another one that could break your heart. Definitely lost some money on the Classic. And then Doge. Doge is the big winner, as you know. It's up 3,775%. But, Doge really spiked up. You got That's a rarity, right? That's a rarity. So where are they going in the new year? Well, here's the thing, right? They're more widely accepted, right? We know that. So if you got into these markets, most of the people got in from February to May, I'd say. So you're probably down. You got those wash sales going on. Wow, man, the words really aren't coming out this morning. But that's the way it goes. Those are going to happen for another day or two. I might even I have one opportunity to do a wash sale, but what's that going to do if I do? Man, it's going to capture a couple $100 loss. I don't know if it's worth it. Because remember, when you go to buy and sell and buy these back, it's tricky to time anything right because they do spike. There's a lot of spikes. Remember, volatility is the name of the game when it comes to crypto in today's markets. If you don't like the volatility, if you don't want to be riding on the Coney Island cyclone, if you've ever ridden, I say that's a really cool ride, but scary. Stay off the ride, or it's like it's like the merry-go-round. You get on, you get off. So if you're making 10%, it used to be, guys, in the 80s to make 8 or 10% a year was like, you're doing well. Nowadays, you want to make 10% a week. It's tough to do. It really is. I'm really curious to see what next year holds for the cryptos in general, because do they find some solid ground and keep moving upward? Do they trade more like stocks? I don't think so. I think you're going to see these. They're speculative. People call them gambling, whatever. But got to stick with the program. Whatever it is you're doing, got to stay positive in everything that you do, right? No matter what it is. And, if you don't like the risk, don't get on the ride. It is a ride. So, I think that's it for today, guys. I wanted to keep these kind of closing up the year. There's a lot of news out there. Everybody's focused on the news. I don't know. It's tricky to watch the news anymore because it all seems to be the same narrative. And when will the narrative change? But it's what you believe. I did talk to another friend of mine last night who said that. He said, people believe what they believe. He said, how do you change that? How do you change what people believe? If they believe in COVID, he's like, I know you're not. He said, you're different. I said, well, I'm focused on how to empower yourself, right? How to stay strong body, clear mind. With the same motto, another day, another workout. To me, that's the basis, right? And you go from there, right? Family, everything gets stronger when you're stronger. But where's the truth, right? You got to live in the truth and stay positive at all times. So anyway, let's finish up with that, guys. Hey, have a great couple of days. I'm still looking to do this tomorrow. Again, this is episode 5. I'm trying to get 6 in, right? Trying to do this on a daily basis. Have been doing it. Remember, 1 home run doesn't make a home run hitter, but 5 is more than 1. So we're going to keep it moving. Tola Talks Texas. This is the 3rd generation of Tola Talks. Remember the radio, then YouTube, and now here we are. Plano, historic downtown Plano. So, guys, be the best you can possibly be today. Keep rocking it. Keep rocking your dreams. Keep rocking your workouts. And have an awesome day. Get your workout in. See ya. Peace.